New Brunswick has been known primarily for its rich colonial heritage, dating back to the arrival of the first European settler colonizers in the 17th century. We know, of course, that there were many native people here before then and that many European and non-European immigrant groups have settled in the area in the centuries that followed. In other words, there's much more to New Brunswick than its revolutionary history and its founding fathers. Here, we offer a different history. The first group to inhabit what is known as New Brunswick were the Lenape people. They lived along the Raritan River in a village they called Ahandewamok. After the arrival of European colonizers in 1678, however, the land changed dramatically. By 1860, the majority of the foreign population were Irish, which made up 70%, and the Germans at 15.2%. By 1910, Hungarians made up 41% of New Brunswick's foreign-born. Middlesex County's population exceeded 160,000 people by 1920, and about half of those lived in New Brunswick. The presence of Hungarians declined after 1910, making room for Italian immigrants. Italians remained in the area until about the 1970s, when a new wave of foreigners began settling in the city, Latinos. The first Latinos in New Brunswick were Puerto Ricans, who arrived as early as 1948, with the family of Otilio Colon. The first Puerto Ricans established shops and organizations. One such group, the Puerto Rican Action Board, is still present in the community today.
I remember I used to come to the Puerto Rican barrio here. You know where the Puerto Rican barrio here was? Go to the Hyatt Hotel. That was the Puerto Rican neighborhood. I remember that Sammy Barreto was a guy who was worked for Pratt. He became member, eventually I recruited him for the party. But Sammy Barreto, I said, Sammy, I met Sammy, I said, Sammy, take me to meet people in the community. He took me to his barrio, to his father's house. And then he took me to a place that was playing dice. And he showed me, presented some of his friends. And his friend, one name was Peligro, nickname Peligro. The other one's Malanoche. All kinds of characters that I met in New Brunswick. That was the community, black community, because that was New Brunswick before gentrification. Later on, John Lynch gentrified the city, and they put a lot of the poor people out, and they make high prices, and they give them a lot of tax incentive to do that, and we have a lot of problems. But anyway, that was the Puerto Rican barrio. The Hyatt Hotel in that area there.
In 1980, New Brunswick housed 3,277 Puerto Ricans out of a total population of over 41,000. Puerto Ricans were still the largest Latino ethnic group in the city, making up 67% of all Latinos. There were very few Mexicans present in 1980, but by the 1990s there were a growing number of new migrants, specifically from the state of Oaxaca. Meanwhile, Puerto Ricans began to diminish. By 2010, Mexicans made up 25.6% of the city's population, while Dominicans were 7.5%, Puerto Ricans 5.1%, Hondurans 5%, South Americans 2%, and other Hispanic or Latino 2.4%. According to the 2016 American Community Survey estimates, New Brunswick now houses over 16,000 Mexicans, making them the dominant Latino group in the city. New Brunswick's population has actually increased over the past 3 decades, going from 41,402 in 1980 to 55,181 in 2010. Recent immigrants have played a significant role in revitalizing the local economy. Mexican immigrants' impact can be seen in the commercial districts of the city. Livingston Ave and French Street are now home to many Mexican businesses. In fact, French Street used to be abandoned until the community revitalized it. The city is located in Middlesex County, which is now home to 33,400 Mexicans. While New Brunswick's colonial origins remain an important part of its heritage, it is also important to recognize the contributions of more recent arrivals, the Latino immigrants. from Puerto Rico, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and several other origins who have helped to keep the city vibrant, buzzing, and full of life.